It's amazing that this is I mean, you can't even imagine the feeling. I'm sitting in a living room that I grew up in. It's surreal. It's hard to even really, it's hard to take in.
I've been thinking about this case for months now, and almost every day I find myself seeing it differently. It depends on the lens I'm looking through. Some days I'm thinking about Dustin's mother, other days Jennifer's. Sometimes I'm looking at it through the eyes of Dustin's attorney, other times through the prosecutor's. Sometimes I imagine how a Navy SEAL might understand this story. Other times I see it through the eyes of a young woman close to my own age, pursuing a career in the medical field, whose future was taken from her far too soon. The more perspectives I allow myself to inhabit, the more complex this story becomes.
On the face of it, just the idea that a person like myself spends 31 years incarcerated, and now he's thrust back into society after 3 decades.
The stories I find most compelling are the ones that invite us to examine our own lives through lived experiences of someone else. Stories that ask us to set aside our assumptions, even if only for a moment, and imagine what it means to walk in another person's shoes.
So I have agreed to work with Cloey and the crew for a multitude of reasons. One is I've had dealings with a multitude of people in the media, right? I feel like that it's just too much. It's too much dealing with the so-called Hollywood types. But I'm comfortable with this platform and with Cloey, and though she doesn't have decades of that filmmaking experience, she's hungry to create a good, authentic story, right? Nothing contrived, nothing set up. We're just going to be real, and that's what it is. I'm good with that. I love that idea.
I'm interested in this story for many reasons. I grew up about 20 minutes from Dustin Turner's family. We come from the same part of southern Indiana. Over the past few months, I've also developed a close relationship with Dustin and his family. They've trusted me with their stories, welcomed me into their homes, and allowed me to witness Dustin's life in the days following his release from prison. This documentary is about much more than a single crime. It's about the life that existed before it, the decades that followed it, and the people who have spent more than 30 years living in its shadow.
During this documentary process, I think it'll allow me an opportunity to maybe share some aspects of the story, including that fateful night, and what it really meant to me, and how it impacted me. Because it's easy for me to describe something in like I said, in a non-emotional, objective way. I can go point by point. But when talking about the night that Jennifer Evans was murdered, my own feelings, how it impacted me, the trauma of it, that's not easy. But I think we'll explore some of those things in this documentary.
We'll explore Dustin's life before prison, the decades he spent behind bars, and what it means to rebuild a life after losing so much of it. What parts of someone survive? What changes? What can never be recovered? We'll also explore the relationships that shaped Dustin's life before prison, the people who stood beside him through incarceration, and the life he's trying to build today. Because understanding a person doesn't begin or end with the worst day of their life. At the same time, this film never loses sight of Jennifer Evans. Her story and the immeasurable loss experienced by the people who loved her remain at the heart of this documentary. Every life touched by this case matters, and every perspective deserves to be approached with care, honesty, and respect.
I almost feel selfish at times talking about, how traumatizing it was for me. I mean, it was a young lady was killed, innocent young lady, right? So why should I be talking about me and my feelings and that kind of thing?
This documentary isn't about telling you what to think. It's about creating space for complexity, empathy, and honest conversation. My responsibility as a filmmaker is to listen carefully, tell the story with integrity, and trust you to wrestle with the same questions that have kept me thinking about this case for months. I'm interested in what it looks like to live with the consequences of irreversible choices, not only for the people who made them, but for everyone whose lives were forever changed by them. I'm producing this documentary in collaboration with Third Rule Media, and we've already begun filming with Dusty. With your support, we'll continue documenting this extraordinary chapter of his life, travel to the places where his story unfolded, preserve the voices that deserve to be heard, and create a documentary that examines not only what happened, but why its impact continues to echo decades later. Thank you for believing in independent film, and thank you for helping us tell this story.
I think this can be significant. I'm looking forward to this journey.